Hey everyone, welcome to my top 10 Batman Spin Master predictions, Hero Edition. Alright, as always, I'm your host Frozen Stratos, and you know what I love more, or just about the same, as finding a bunch of news for the DC Spin Master line? It's making predictions, it's speculating on what we could be getting next. It's one of my favorite activities, especially for this line, because it's so new and there are so many things that they can do. On top of that, there are so many things that they've already done. Specifically, the 2-inch line. Now, these are a bunch of, small 2-inch PVC figures that they make at mass retail. These are all blind packed, but they did give us all these awesome, pretty images of everything that comes in Wave 1. So I took all of these figures and I got rid of all the ones that we don't. I got rid of all the ones that we do have. I also took from Wave 2 because Wave 2 is out, but they have not given us clear, pretty images. There's nothing on the Spin Master line, on the Spin Master website. There's nothing on the Amazon website. No listings for Wave 2. So I just went to Target and took a picture. Is that good enough for you? I hope it is, because that's all I did here. On top of that, there were some unreleased Toy Fair 2-inch figures that might be in Wave 2, might not be, I don't know. Either way, there are some that exist that aren't part of Wave 1, Wave 2, but have only showed up in Toy Fair, and I put them all together in this big image. After that, I got rid of variants of characters we already had. Then I got rid of variants that appear within this pool already. We have multiple Harley Quinns here. Got rid of that. And then after that, I got rid of all the villains, because that's probably going to be in a different video. So we're going to be drawing from this pool, but that's not all. Because, hey, some of the figures in the Caped Crusader line were never made in the 2-inch line. So just because it's part of the 2-inch, or just because it isn't in the 2-inch line, doesn't mean it's not going to get made soon. So with that said, let's hop in to some of my picks. Number 10. Constantine. John Constantine, the Hellraiser. Which, now that I've said that part out loud, probably takes him out of the running, honestly, because he is more of a darker character, but he's helped out Batman quite a few times, and he's part of Justice League Dark, so I think he's someone to consider. You could give him accessories like spell circles and fire effects and whatnot. On top of that, he is a well-dressed man, and for some reason, Spin Master really likes producing just sculpts of well-dressed men. Every version of Joker has a really nice suit on. Even the Riddler has a really nice suit on. They could have gone with a leotard look for the Riddler, but they went with the well-dressed man version. And you know what? We don't have enough trench coats in this line. Give me a Jim Gordon, which, once again, probably should have put Jim Gordon on this list, but I didn't, because he's not superhero. Anyway, this is my 10th pick. Let's move on to number 9. The Question. Oh my goodness, I really want this as well. So, John Constantine, well-dressed man, so is The Question. And you know what? He's got the gloves, so you can really keep just reusing the Joker mold, at least the arms and the legs for these figures. That's, one of the sort of helpful factors to this thing. He could come with a briefcase, a magnifying glass, maybe a hat as an accessory. I don't know. Either way, I really want a Vic Sage. I also would like Renee Montoya. I recognize that, this is a boys' toy line, and we just have a drought of female figures, unfortunately. But I would still really like a Renee Montoya. Whether she is in the brown trench coat or the blue trench coat, doesn't really matter. And on top of that, she's more of a Batman character than Vic Sage is. So I feel like on some level she fits this line a little bit more. And on top of that, goes really well with the Kate Kane. You've been putting this figure out, why not give her a Question to go along with her? I don't know, I think that would be a good idea. Anyway, let's move on into number 8. Wildcat. And this one, you know, he is an ally of the Bat. He helped him train to fight when he was a kid, or at least that's what he said in Brave and the Bold. I don't really know how it worked out in the comics, but I really like this. I really like the idea of getting him in this line, just because, you know, he matches that dark aesthetic that this toy line goes for. On top of that, we technically already have this figure. And you must be wondering to me, what are you talking about? I'm talking about this. Right? Do you see this? Let me flash it back and forth. This is Wildcat. This is the Nightwing mold. Come on. I mean, it's a lot less beefy, I'll give you that, but you take off all the paint on this guy, switch the head, and then just paint the arm straps, and you basically have a Wildcat. Like, this is so easy. I really hope they do this. Please consider doing this. I want it. And hey, it's another JSA member, and I can't fault getting another JSA member. Actually, I don't know that we've actually had a JSA member. Anyway, let's move on to number 9. Did I say 9? I meant 7. This is Green Arrow. So yeah, Green Arrow. He is, you know, an ally to the Bat. He is part of multiple teams with the guy, and he's compared to him a lot. And I get, you know, he should probably be his own standalone hero, but we are somehow shoehorning in a lot of characters into the Spin Master line, into the Batman line specifically. So he's one that I'm really, really gunning for, mostly because I am just a big Green Arrow fan. Either way, he has a really easy loadout. You can give him his quiver, you can give him his bow, and you can give him a punching glove arrow. That's all you need to do. That's how you make this figure. I've given that to you. Now give it to me. I want it. Next one. Number 6. Black Canary, of course. So now we're getting into the 2-inch line, and you know what? Black Canary is part of the Birds of Prey, which is Batman adjacent. And you know, she is sort of Batman adjacent on most terms, I guess. She is part of the Justice League as well. But yeah, I don't know. This feels like a really good pick, and one of the ones that Spin Master just decided to put into their 2-inch line, which is suspicious for me. Don't tease me with this. I really want a Black Canary. This suit, too, this is one of the first times I've seen this suit. It looks awesome, and I want it. I want it as a figure. Don't show me this and not give it to me. I want this figure. And it would go really well, or Green Arrow would go really well with this figure as well. So, yeah, I want it. Hey, next one. Number 5. Helena Wayne or Helena Bertinelli, whichever one. I just want the Huntress. This made it into the 2-inch line, so that's really cool. And I don't know, like, the 2-inch line is so strange because I feel like sometimes there might just be characters in there that they'll never do, but on the other hand, you at least know that they considered it, right? And I really want to fill out the Bat family a little bit. Personally, I really want a Helena Bertinelli rather than a Helena Wayne, but I recognize a lot of people want a Helena Wayne as well. I'll take both. I'll take either. I still want both. Either way, I think she's a good pick. Let's move on into number 4. Katana. So, once again, another figure that made it into the line, and on top of that, would go really well with your Killer Croc, since she is one of the Suicide Squad members sometimes. And on top of that, she's part of the Outsiders, which, you know, is typically a Batman-centric team, which, you know, we'll talk about later. Either way, I really want a Katana figure. We've already made a Katana mold, like the mold of a Katana sword, in the line. All you need to do is give it to her. I want this figure a lot. Anyway, let's move on in. Number 3. Red Robin. So this is Tim Drake, and we have been dancing around Robins for so long. There are so many different repaints of Damian Wayne that are made to look like a Red Robin suit, and like, just give it to me. I don't understand why you can't just acknowledge Tim Drake. Are they gonna give me like the other suit? I would much prefer the other suit with the wings that go out. But yeah, either way, this is, once again, one of the 2-inch figures, and they did this version of Red Robin, which is just the regular Robin costume. If they wanted to be that lazy, they absolutely could. I'd take it for, you know, for a little bit, but I still would really prefer the wings out version. Either way, just give me Tim Drake. I think we have a good opportunity here to get a Tim Drake. It's an easy remold. You have all the accessories as well. It's not too hard. Just I want it. Just put an extra R on it. That's it. That's all you need to do. Anyway, next one. Number 2. All right, Batwing. So I mean, I assume this is Batwing, but there are no versions of this dude's suit, of Luke Fox's suit, that look like this. I don't understand where this look came from. Is this Batwing? Am I wrong? I think this is Batwing. He's part of the 2-inch line, and on top of that, he would make a really easy remold into the Signal. So I think this is potentially a good pick in terms of like, hey, we can reuse this. Definitely a reusable figure. Either way, I would like the Signal as well, just throwing that out there. Anyway, let's move on into our honorable mentions before we get into number 1. Alright, so there are a few figures here that I did not feel like putting into this list just because they're kind of obvious, like Terry McGinnis and the Hellbat armor. I feel like those are really good picks to actually show up. They would have made number 1 had this been, you know, like a strictly prediction list, but I wanted to make it a little bit more fun because obviously Batman's going to show up in the Batman toy line. Eventually these are going to happen anyway. On top of that, another figure that I put in the honorable mentions was this version of Damian Wayne. If you've been keeping up a little bit with the DC Future State stuff, there is a new version of Damian Wayne where he's just sort of wearing some robes and stuff, and I feel like this would be a good enough repaint / stand-in for that. I don't know how much of a prediction this is for me, but I feel like it's a good enough possibility. I don't know. I would like to see it, and I would be using it for this purpose specifically. Anyway, also on top of that, the Justice Buster, not a character, but this is another one of those that showed up at Toy Fair instead. Same with Katana. Katana was only ever shown at Toy Fair. So was this one. It's not a specific character, so I didn't really put it in the list. But considering that we're getting these big mech suits now for the Bat-Tech line, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we would get a Justice Buster in this sort of style for like $15-ish, I think. Or was it 13? Yeah, $13, I think. And then lastly, my last honorable mention, Morpho. I feel like he could really, you know, the size class they do for the Villain 2 packs with, I think it was mainly just Clayface. Basically, my mind said, hey, what if Clayface, but a repaint, and it's Morpho? That's what this guy is to me. I really, really want it. He is an ally to the Bat a lot of times. And on top of that, he is a member, once again, of the Outsiders. Same with Signal, who I brought up earlier. And that's really important to my very last pick. Number 1. My number 1 pick is Black Lightning. So, this is basically the image that I sort of based this entire top 10 around, because I saw floating around that there was going to be a 2-inch Black Lightning figure, and I mean, like, that opens so many doors. He's one of the outsiders, so is Katana, so is Morpho, so are all these people. I want this figure to be the one that opens the door to so many other characters in this Batman line, because we have been stuck in mostly Batman stuff. We keep getting re-releases of Batman. They are clogging shelves. Tons of Robins. Quite a few Kate Kanes, but I really want to expand this Bat family into the outsiders. And I think with the figures that we've seen so far, and the characters that we could possibly see, I feel like the outsiders are a really good opportunity, and Black Lightning opens that up. I also just really want a Jefferson Pierce action figure, just in general. So part of this is like, oh hey, some prediction. The other part of me is like, oh wow, I really just want a Black Lightning figure. Either way, I'm in full support of this. You could repaint him multiple times. You could give him translucent arms. Whatever you want to do, I will take it. I want this figure so much. And once again, I'm very sorry for this low res image of Black Lightning. That's just the best one I could take at the store. It's not really a high-res image that I took of anyway. But hey, guys, that's it for me. That was my list. Let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to be coming out for this line, what your top 10 is. Give me your predictions, and also give me your wants, because I recognize that those are sometimes two very separate things. On top of that, hey, we only did heroes this time. If you like this episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to get the villains portion of this sort of top 10, this sort of thought process that I'm going through. That's going to be coming up next week, so look forward to that. Also, while you're down in the description, there are links to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, and watching videos, because there's a playlist full of videos that donate their ad revenue to the Black Lives Matter movement. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Keep it. Hell yeah.